because at the time at that point we were making even, less, hardly anything to survive. So we needed to supplement income in other ways, and that was, the way that I did it.
Do you think you could do that in your 30s?
That's something that I think about all the time, man. I'm like, man, if I were to do this over again, no way. There's no way. I think zero chance that I could do that in this. I would have to, we'd have to finance growth out of debt or,
Yeah.
you know, VC, get funds to try to grow an organization. And I think it would be really hard, especially being 33 years old. I think it'd be so stinking hard to try to start something with zero income, because at,
Do you
the
think
first,
you could do it with, I mean, it's hard because you have the experience of someone who's grown the business to where it is. So in a way you have like a cheat code here, but do you feel like that you could do it by taking on debt and investment to start something? Like, is it the bootstrappiness, eating ramen noodles, like not sure where the next paycheck's going to come from, part that's stressful, but that's at a time when like you're figuring relationships out, you're young and you're an idiot and like you don't have much going on that is really like at risk. Whereas now life's a little bit more stable. You have the people in your close circle that really mean a lot to you, and you don't want to put yourself outside of the comfort zone. Like, what do you think is the biggest differentiating factor between your willingness to get it done then and go about it by any means necessary, and the hesitance to like want to take that on in your, if you were to do it again in your 30s?
I think it would just be harder. I mean, unless I took out, a loan to live off of, I think it would be really, really challenging but I think there's so many different instruments now to fund a business. And, what I know now, I would, if I were to start something completely different today, I would want to start a venture-backed, high growth organization. Yes, it would still be kind of bootstrapped in the sense that, I wouldn't have, the salary or the income level that I have now, but it would have the backing to propel the organization forward at a much faster rate than, Brist has been, launched forward because we've grown out of retained earnings. So
Right.
I think, having something that's venture backed, you can hire the appropriate people, the best people out the gate to make get the organization to meet kind of those growth expectations so much faster than growing organically. And that's one of the things that I tell friends that are starting businesses now, depending on kind of the business, it's you can go super, super slow and grow at a bootstrapped, rate, or you can take on investment and grow much faster. Sure, you have to give up equity, but you can get to market faster. You can be potentially a market leader quicker. And I think now that's so much more valuable, depending on what you're doing,
For
obviously,
sure.
than taking the bootstrap strapped kind of growth rate. And I mean, look at all the organizations that have gotten big over the last 2 to 3 years. It's like they've gotten big for a reason. They're likely venture
Like
backed.
Vori, that's a
Yeah,
great example, right?
they're.
Those guys are,
And what's crazy is I met Joe back in probably 2013 or 14. He was in a 10 by 10 booth at a trade show.